there's that.
That's an intro.
Yeah, I had Wedrick make that for me, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's all right.
It's a cool little video, dude. It shows
Yeah,
out
dude.
Supermoto in there, some freaking R1 hits. It's cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so welcome to the show, Jason Rodriguez, privateer stock 1000, dude. Rides one of those BPR Army R1s. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. What's up, Dustin? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude, like I've been seeing you come up through the amateur program before, and then shit, now I saw you at the national at Laguna recently, and I'm like, holy shit, I gotta talk to this guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I will say this, I see R6 Chrissy in the comments, and I know she was like I'm just gonna say she was your pit manager or agent, you know,
All the above.
tire runner. Like
Yeah.
she basically ran your whole fucking program. All you had to do was ride the motorcycle at Laguna, which is hilarious. But dude, the moment she saw me, she's like, "Oh my god, what are you gonna have Jason on?" I'm like, "Dude, shut up."
That was their first Moto America like national round 2 being pit crew too. So
Oh no shit.
yeah, that was legit their first time. I gave them the rundown just before everything, like because I've been working on Bryce's team, mechanicing for Dion, and yeah, just basically tried to run the system like them, and they took to it like Chrissy and Rafa, and then my mechanic Scott Tillery was my mechanic. They killed it.
Yeah, dude, Scott Tillery, and I go way back with that dude. Like he was part of that whole Bakersfield crew that used to come out to race at Willow back in the day.
Back in those days.
And he had his own shop, but I think he's closed that up and he's working for Bryce full time now, right?
Yes, sir. He's Bryce's
Kern County Power.
County Power Sports. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the dealership right there with BPR Racing, and yeah, he's artillery. Used to be artillery, and now they're one unit.
Right on.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
So how did you get started in this motorbike thing? Are you like one of those dudes that grew up riding like at 3 or something?
I wish, man. I was jealous of those kids, man. I never had a family background there. I was late. I think I bought my first motorcycle when I had financial aid money in college back in like 2017.
Wait, you took your financial aid college money to go buy a motorcycle?
100%. I was
That's
like,
fucking awesome.
Yeah, I moved to Paso Robles, and like Cuesta, they were, private, a small community college, but they were the first place to give me like financial aid money because, my background and stuff. And I was like, sweet. And I got this whole check. I was like, what do I do with it? I worked 2 jobs. I was like, I don't need to pay for anything for school. So I was like, I always wanted a street bike. So I bought a street bike. I bought a 2006 Gixxer 600 with like 46,000 miles and a stator leak that never stopped. That was my first bike. And that was
that's like the perfect squid bike to start on too.
Oh, 100%. That's why like everyone that like talks smack on Gixxer gotta defend him, right? Like I was a Gixxer bro. Like
you were a Gixxer bro.
I was a Gixxer bro, man. Freaking yeah.
Would you say that today you're a reformed Gixxer bro?
Today I have to, pretty much an R1 and Yamaha fanboy from MT10s to Cincinnati now because they're great bikes. Haven't ridden too many others, but every time I see like a 750 or like a 600, I admire it. I'm like, that's such a great bike. So I never hate on it. And I'd say I'm reformed now. Yeah, I kind of get it why, but I think Suzuki's are more reliable than freaking Cowies in my opinion.
I mean, the bar isn't set super high there.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, there's 2 Japanese manufacturers in the low end. I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah. So, what's your day gig? I know you've been club racing now for a few years, right?
Yeah, I think my first year officially racing, like club racing, was in 2021. Yeah, got hurt during COVID. I was planning my first year to race was 2020. Then COVID hit. I had a gnarly dirt bike accident, couldn't walk for a year, and then was bummed that I missed my to go race, but hit it hard in 2021 and hurt myself again. I broke my wrist street riding. So I did like 3 rounds in 21. I did like 1 with CRA when you were opening it up, like the first thing. That was cool. But I had 2 with AFM that, like I say, coming into racing, I didn't know who to race with. It was AFM. So, before you guys came along. And then that's it. I broke my wrist and then missed the rest of the season. And then, then freaking when I came back for a track day, like to try to make the last round of AFM, that was like during my 3rd round, I high-sided my bike after getting
Where did you high side?
Thunderhill turn 5A or turn 5A or 6 or 5B. It's basically after the mini corkscrew.
Cyclone thing?
Yeah, the cyclone thing. That's the first left that you hit out of the cyclone. Yeah, sent myself to the moon. Didn't get hurt, luckily. People said that like everyone that's crashed there said it's been bad and gotten hurt, but my bike was pretty dinged up. And
that was 6 then. Turned 6.
Turn 6, I guess. Yeah, something like that. So high sided that stuff, and then that's when I didn't know how to fit. I worked on my own bike before, but I did a number on mile 1, kind of like your bogger when you kind of high sided or when you kind of lost friend in the Riverside.
I don't know if I'd call it losing the front.
I don't know, dude. That's
D-bag on a Super Duke shut the gas off in front of me in Riverside in the first lap of a race. So
that's rough.
Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't crash in your Sportsman race. I was literally in my Saturday race on freaking Sportsman. I was like, I think I was chasing first. I was chasing first, and just got too greedy on the throttle and set myself to the moon. So it was my fault. Learned.
So your R1 was a bit of a yard sale at that point?
Bit of a yard sale after I just put all the race bodywork on it, the Olins and stuff. I did it myself. I did everything in the garage like myself, like every track day squid does. We're like, oh,
dude, you and that junior guy you guys were both from that Salinas area.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, you guys both came up similar time, right? Like right around the same time, you guys decided to go club racing, and you guys were like your little Salinas crew. And
831 bikers, dude. That's what they call it, the 831 bikers, because that's our area code.
The 831 bikers.
Yeah. When I moved back home in 2018, I was always riding by myself at Suzuki, and then I found those guys, and we'd go hit the back roads, those canyons fast as hell. And Junior was one of the faster guys there, and I'm glad we're still alive. We did some stupid shit, as every motorcycle rider does in canyons, and we had a blast. And then he did track days too. We did a bunch of track days, and all of a sudden we're like, hey, let's go race. And then we'd race some amateur stuff together, and he had a couple bike issues and didn't make as many rounds as I did, but I just stuck to it, and then look where we're at now. So
I mean, I can remember you guys kind of like arguing and talking shit to each other.
We always did.
You guys like, how can I not go faster than 53s? Like,
we'd go to your track days all the time, and freaking, we'd love it because you guys back in you guys weren't harsh on guys wanting to go fast and battling kind of friends. You kind of it's like, hey, go don't be an idiot or get someone hurt, but go out there and push a limit. And that's what we went to all your track days, and we'd have fun doing that. And we got stuck at 53s until I found Ben Hodges, my good old B Hodge, coaching. And I tell everyone nowadays, coaching, I thought without however many YouTube videos I've seen, I watched the Simon Crafer Moto Voodoo videos. I watched MotoGP all of Rossi's. I as soon as I got into A group and knew I was gonna race, I just went full book nerd. And I'm like, how do you get
full
faster?
Book nerd.
Yeah, or video booking, YouTube. You just look every instructional thing you can find on how to go fast BP, and I'm just overwhelmed. And
did you Google how to go fast?
Basically, literally, how to go fast that button wheel, and the next thing you know, you just see onboards of Bryce's freaking videos or freaking your videos. Watching you had a good used to run 49s, 48s out there.
Yeah,
and just go. I was just like, I'm running 53s. I'm like, Dustin, how do you do it? And I just could for the life of me.
I was like, more of this and less of this.
Yeah, see, that's what everyone says.
That'll be $250.
Yeah, that's what everyone says to go do it. Just hey, give it full gas and then brake super loud. But as I've learned and come far like that, it's not always that. It's more of a feel thing. You got to learn, and you got to play. Learning motorcycles. Yeah, learning motorcycle speed is almost like an art and like a science. The contact patch and feel. And Ben Hodges opened the door for me doing that. The way he kind of approached speed, he'd been under Bryce, and I owe him a lot to my progress. He's the one that got me past 53s, and then I was basically helping him around the camp. I was just lingering around the camp trying to pick up tips and tricks from him, right? Watch them, this and that. And then next thing you know, I'm kind of in the BPR camp, just sitting there, talking to Bryce, watching what he does with data and just trying to absorb it all. Yeah. And then here we are. We can click 40. We have, I think, my fastest time at button wheeling now, I think, is a low 47, so close to 46s. And what's it called now? I'm just chasing. I'm always in that top group and a lot of the expert ranks, and and just got fast times everywhere. Go from Chuck, I got down to 46s at Chuck, and just the approach to speed I learned watching those guys do it has helped me tremendously everywhere. So now, you said that you worked with Hodges, to refresh everybody's memory. We had him on the show last year, I think. Yeah. And he's the dude that sells airplanes, right? He's the airplane dealer. So, dude, sells airplanes, dude. The craziest mountain bike rider I know. Really? Dude, the guy sends he's a shredder. I've been on some mountain bike rides with him, and we've gone down some shit. And I'm like, why do you do this? I'm like, this is I like to hit jumps and go fast, right? But the guy is going 25, 30 miles an hour through trails that big of straight rock in San Luis Obispo. And I'm like, we're gonna die. but I go with it anyway. And dude, to you know, anything on two wheels, whether mountain bike, supermoto, street bike riding, freaking even pedaling a bicycle, road biking. It's
You're a
practicing.
roadie too?
I just recently picked up a road bike, dude. Like
Oh shit.
2 weeks ago. I used to talk so much shit on you guys, this and that. Now over here,
You're like, oh, did you get your sausage suit?
Not yet. I got my little padded vagina thing for my freaking in between leg stuff.
Bontrager.
Yeah, I got that thing or whatever. And haven't gone on a long. I think the longest ride I've had so far is like 10, 12 miles. But hopefully some weekend, I want to freaking hit up Chad or maybe you, or just find some roadies and go for a trek. Not no 30-mile loop, but like a 15, 20 maybe.
Oh, dude, I could take you like some gnarly shit, bro. Like
I'm down. Anytime.
There's some stuff up in Paso. Like there's that Peachy Canyon thing. You do that?
Really? I'm down.
Oh yeah,
That's
bro.
right,
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Gotta find some
Peachy Canyon's pretty cool. And then obviously if you come down to Santa Clarita area, we do Camp 9 and that kind of stuff. Lake Hughes.
Just take your leathers. Down.
Yeah,
freaking.
Dude.
I got a road bike. I got to ride it now, right? I got, got big aspirations for next year. I want to get in shape. I got a couple of old man dirt bike injuries. I'm healing up and muscle stuff. I'm working.
He said old man injuries. First of all,
dude, a life like
you're still in your 20s, right?
30s. I just turned 30.
You just turned 30.
Yeah,
you got
30.
old man shit,
and I feel it, dude. I feel it.
Right.
I know, not as bad as you, but you know what it is. When you freaking crash dirt bikes and you race and get hurt, you have issues. It's just, it comes up. Yeah, it catches up to you, man. It starts to hurt after.
Dude, it does. Like for me, I was cool until I turned 40. Like the moment I turned 40, it was like up until that point, dude, I could throw shit into the scenery and get up and like whatever, just be mad that I had to fix the bike. And since I turned 40, it's like you chuck the thing into the scenery and instantly check yourself into the hospital.
Oh, I'm not excited for that. Like people would tell me, like, guys like you, just older guys would be like, dude, wait till you're 30, wait till you're 40, wait till you're this.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I don't know, dude. I got a few friends in their 60s and they look great. I'm trying to be like them. So,
dude, I tell you what, the cycling thing, it's changed my life. I mean, last year, like I sold the race club and stuff, and like, dude, doing that San Francisco to LA thing last year totally made me kind of okay. Like I was kind of salty over the whole thing and how it went down and everything. And, I sold the thing and ran with a big smile on my face at the bank, but dude, like I was still kind of salty. And man, I got on that thing on the bicycle and I'm gone for hours on end, for days on end.
Just roll your troubles away, huh?
Yeah, dude, I didn't give a shit about any of that. I was just like, oh man, that's nice. Look at that. Oh, smell the strawberries, that kind of shit. So
it's crazy what two wheels can do. That's similar thing.
I know, right?
Me, yeah, similar thing for me with motorcycles. They're like that's why I kind of do all the things I do, because you can't think about much when you're doing that, right? You got to focus on what you're doing. So
where do you live? You're from Salinas. Where are you living now?
So yeah, born and raised in small town of Castro, Monterey County, but I moved out to Bakersfield probably like 2000, like late 21 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or late 22, I think. And that was to come work for Bryce here at the dealership he just bought.
No shit.
Yeah, that was to come work with Bryce at Kern County Power. Well, at the time it was Valley Cycle Motorsports, but dude, the guy overhauled the business, took his race shop in it, built an amazing dealership that freaking takes care of people.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a full-fledged race shop in there, dude, from building machines to do like that's one-stop shop. And
am I crazy? Bryce had worked at that place for a long time, and the owner of Valley was like kind of grooming Bryce from when he was, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, basically, right?
Kind of, yeah. I remember taking my bike to Bryce when he was the parts manager there. He came out on the Valley Cycle thing and everything, and he was the parts manager first time meeting him. And yeah, it's crazy to see from him being a parts manager working for a short time to owning the place and just killing it.
So you're living in Bakersfield, and I know you're not an air fence setter-upper guy for the living, so like we'll talk about that in a minute. But like, what do you do for a day gig? Because racing motorcycles, even at the club level,
it does not pay the bills. Yeah, and
right.
even if you want to go try and be successful at the professional, it doesn't. But I'm an engineer by trade. That's what I went to school for.
Yeah.
And everything. So I kind of just recently went back to the field. Was missing it a whole bunch, so went back to engineering and found a great office here in Bakersfield that allows me to work from home 50% of the time. And
oh shit, okay.
Great paying benefits. And I told them, hey, I race motorcycles kind of semi-professionally. like in quotations, like, can I just take off whenever I need to? And they're like, yeah, as long as you get your work done. So I was like, perfect.
All right.
So that's the perfect gig for me. I'm an engineer.
Yeah,
by
that's
trade.
awesome.
Got to be smart during my 9 to 5, you know, and then I can be a retard when I go ride motorcycles into the track.
That's kind of the program I'm on. You know, like I work from home most of the time, but you know, I got to get the shit done and then, you know, play motorbike guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's what we all do, right? All of us guys,
Yeah.
we're all just freaking boneheaded freaking motorcycle jockeys.
I know, right?
Day. But during the day when we have a job to make money to pay for it, we got to seem we know what we're doing, right?
So you just had your national at Laguna, and I can remember you giving me a hand when we were doing that Laguna CRA event. And that's where the air fence setter upper guy title comes in.
Yeah.
You were like, I mean, you were totally helping us get that stuff going. I mean, it was a lot of work, and you were captain forklift driver guy.
Forklift certified, dude. Freaking yeah! I was because I'm like from there, so I was basically home, and I made sure mom was taken care of, and then like I was like, screw it, let's go see what these freaking, you know, that's some CRA. Yeah, CRAs there, 22. I was like, let's go see what they're doing, and see if we lend a hand. I remember I was on Pirelli's and I was talking to Chris and just showed up and I saw you guys right at that entrance, like, dude, who knows how to drive a forklift? I was like, I know. I was like, I was like, dude, I got like a certification right here. And he's like, are you serious? Like, don't mess anything up. I was like, I got you. And then yeah, I just started hopping on the forklift and helped you guys set up. And I was happy to be a part of it. You know.
What did it shock you? How it shocked me, like how difficult that stuff was to set up.
It was, dude. It was a pain in the butt, but in my opinion, like it was so much worth it. You guys did a great job. It was for safety, and like just it, dude. You guys like CRA, like a freaking, you know, that year of racing there at Laguna. Looked like a mini Moto America round, dude. The air fences were up, dude. The paddock was stacked, and people like spectators were all clear. It was sick, dude. It was. I think all the effort was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember it was so much air fence, and we're like, where do we put the air fence? And then everybody comes to me, and they're like, okay, you kind of know. I'm like, I don't know shit. So I was just like, you know, we just kind of set it up basically everywhere we thought somebody could get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
We basically was everywhere.
Yeah. You just
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, I know you helped us set it up, and it was a process, right?
Oh,
you know, we were like reading the directions how to put it together as we were unpalleting it.
Yeah.
And you know, I think I think we had like 50 sections of that shit, or 60.
Dude, I think I that was a lot. I don't know, but was it that much?
It was a lot, bro. Like we had the whole, like we had it everywhere, bro.
I know it was like in every turn, but like every turn was like freaking 15-foot span. So I guess so. Yeah. From there, inside, outside.
I remember blowing up the stuff on the corkscrew and then realizing that the dirt track event that it was in the week before, like, opened it up, big old hole. So we're like, toss that aside. Let's get another section.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that was a crazy event, dude. I'm glad I got it up though. Freaking, it was painted a bunch of track guys like, we'll crash there, just put a fence there. We'll crash there, put a fence there. So
yeah.
But that was a good weekend. Freaking, that was when I was still novice. I got to win all those trophies. You guys have
you won all the novice trophies.
Yeah, I won all the novice trophies. I felt like, you know, back home, I felt like, you know, I finally did something. I was like, okay, I can say I'm kind of fast now, at least in the 831 area code, I guess, right?
Did winning all those trophies that weekend kind of spur something in you to keep rolling?
Well, I was stoked. I was like, when I first raced, I had good times, right? But like, I remember making a bet with Bryce, you know, when I first got my bike back. I was like, hey, if I win a novice championship, will you like hook me up on a livery, on like a BPR livery, this and that? And he just smiled like, yeah, if you can win a novice championship, I'll hook you up on a BPR livery. And I was like, screw it. Like, I was like, all right, I'll just finish the whole season, and kept winning a whole bunch. I was like, I was like halfway through the season, I was like, yeah, everyone's calling me like a mini sandbagger, like, hey, move up to expert already, this and that, right? And I'm like, you know, dude, I'm just enjoying the ride. Like, I just want to say that I want to consistently win a championship. So had the thing with Bryce, so I just enjoyed it, and then built the confidence. I think, you know, still got faster. It's not like just because you don't have faster people to chase doesn't mean, you know, you're not going to get freaking. And I was chasing. What
do you think about that? I mean, you know, that's a phenomenon that's pretty common across the country. It's been going on forever. You know, everybody that goes racing, club level or whatever, they all progress differently.
Yeah, 100%.
And, you know, being on that side of the fence, part of government, if you will, there's always an amateur guy that comes out every year that just murders everybody in the amateur class, right? And, that person a lot of times gets accused of being a sandbagger. And you know what? There has been some truth to some of that. I mean, I could remember, this is like a gazillion years ago, so whatever. But back in the day, we used to race WSMC year round at Willow. And, basically from October to March, AFM was done, right?
Yeah,
So all their guys would come down. A lot of their guys would come down, and these guys would be white plates at AFM. They'd come down, put yellow plates on, and
see, that's sandbagging. That's
right.
Yeah, once you're a white plate, once you're a white expert, there's no going back. I don't care if it's a new track. I don't care if it's a new org. Like, I didn't when as soon as I went to I went to expert in CVMA a couple rounds because first year you guys didn't have a championship, right? I was doing the championship with AFM, so halfway through the season I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go race expert with the CRA guys and go be fast, and then finish out my novice season, switch that way, and it's you don't go back. You're not supposed to go back. So once I went white plate with you guys, I never went back to novice. Once I finished my season at AFM and when I went to CVMA, it was all white plate, right? So you can't go back. That's not how it works. If you have racing experience, you are not considered a novice unless you took 8 years off, 10 years off, right?
Right.
This and that. There's some wiggle room, but you can't. It's not backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. Where like you said, I actually was involved in some of that crap too. Having to litigate that. On the race weekend, where it's like, dude, this guy's coming here and he was racing with us with the yellow plate, and he was racing CVMA with a white plate, but he wanted so
yeah, I don't know.
So basically, what you're saying is, once you turned in the yellow plate, whatever club that was, and you're a white plate now, you're a white plate everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right?
100%. There's no going back.
Okay.
It's what?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
In the live comments, anybody watching, what do you guys think? Should you be allowed to continue racing your novice championship or whatever if you're already a white plate holder at the one club? Comment in the put that shit in the comments.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what you guys think?
What? Yeah, let's see what you guys think. Maybe I'm nuts.
I'm reading as they kind of come. I see Sean and Chrissy, you guys, so I want to see what.
Yeah, we used to joke about that shit back in the day. This guy, Mike Solis, he calls himself Mr. Crash. He used to race AFM, and he used to call those people the all-pro novices.
The all-pro novices? Oh, the ones that are just the
pro novices.
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah,
they're not just regular novice; they're pro novice.
Professional novices.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, like Gil Ramos back in the day.
just freaking. I don't know Gil Ramos, but
no, he's G Money, like the little Mexican old guy.
Oh, it's freaking Jimmy, the one I call Jimmy on the R7.
No. Gil's the old guy that has the 16 R6.
Oh no, I don't think I've seen him.
Yeah, you've met Gil.
Oh, sure. Probably. Dude, I'm horrible. Dude, how many people you meet in the past? I'm horrible with names, man.
Oh, dude, Lou Ferrari's in the chat. Look at that.
There he is, dude. That
Sandbagging in novice is like taking your hot sister to prom.
There you 100%. See? There you go.
Wow, Lou.
I wouldn't have said it any better.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Soulless Ginger says he took 15 years off and came back as a novice and cleaned house.
Yeah, see, you took 15 years off and you were still able to smoke most of the crowd, right? That's just
Well, there was a guy at CVMA, rest in peace, this guy, but Walt Nitto. Walt Nitto Sr., he was a guy back in the 80s, won the AFM #1 plate.
Oh, shit.
And then hadn't raced since the 80s. And he came to Chuckwalla as an amateur and just murdered. Just absolutely murdered.
Yeah.
And it was a thing. It was like, okay.
Yeah. I wish those days are like that now, like when my first white plate race was. I remember being so sad. I'm like, everyone's like, oh man, you're doing so good, you're getting so fast. And all of a sudden, it's like, I forgot who's the one that told me. I don't know if it was freaking Zach or something like that, but he's just like, get ready. Because I qualified right behind Banner, this and that, in Bryce's racing, Wyatt was there, and freaking Brett Kettles, just all the fast dudes, right? And I just remember diving for turn one. I was like, wow, these guys are scooting. I was like, let's try and hold on. And then it's no more. Now from competing to first to now competing for fifth, and then sometimes you get lucky with the fourth spots, But hey, you want to be fast, go chase the fast guys, right?
Okay, so you've experienced that. I mean, you went from winning everything to like hoping for top 5, basically, right?
That was it. Yeah.
And you've raced against. You mentioned some names. Kettleson, local fast guy, right?
Mhm.
And then your fucking teammates, like
Yeah.
all of them,
Yeah. And then
almost all of them.
it's my first year CVMA too. Like Anthony Norton. Freaking
Yeah.
Corey Alexander. That was like CRA and AFM had like that like top 5 group, right? That's always kind of
Right.
there, or top 4. Dion was in there too when he was out there on the 600 and stuff. And then when you go to CVMA, you get like Corey Alexander, you get Anthony Norton. I think Ty Bangford. I think this was when he had like Gixxer still. My first season at CVMA, I was nervous. Like all those guys go there nonstop, and then next thing you know, that shootout thing, like CVMA, that turn 1 is like pretty tight, and then there's not 5 fast guys. There's Mark DeGrosse. I was behind him a couple times too, and they're all generally fast. They're all within like a second.
Yeah.
So that turn 1, I was like, wow. I was like, it went from CRA to like being to 5 guys, and CVMA like 10, 11 guys, and then it was a fun, challenging learning process during like the white plate stuff. But I was glad that I started chasing the top front pack instead of like some people will kind of come from amateur and then kind of make their way through the backpack and stuff. I kind of had a little head start.
So what do you've raced against everybody. You raced in all the clubs here in California, AFM, CRA, CVMA, and each of them have their own kind of different character, right?
100%.
What character of the club races are your favorite so far?
The races that pay, dude. It's not cheap. And when I learned that pro racing pays, even though Bryce, and all those Moto America guys, and freaking Dion, although they collect the paycheck, Ben's got a couple. I've gotten a couple of them too nowadays, right? Because I've gotten faster. But when you get that, it's not much, but when you get that $500, $600 to offset the cost of tires and stuff, it makes it more fun, and it makes it like I went into debt doing all this stuff, right? I was out of my pocket. I went super deep, and I was like, this sucks. I remember being like, worrying about like, how to make my next credit card payment, like had a weekend coming. I was like, this sucks. But then like got out of it and then like got better and just freaking, put myself. I remember I placed like top 5, like CDMA. They paid out to top 5 on the shootout.
No shit.
Yeah, I got like a $400 check. I was juiced.
What?
I wanted to go home and tell my mom, I was like, hey, Mom, I'm not going to quit my day job, but we got paid racing motorcycles. And then CRA, you guys, like I remember freaking, you guys paid out. Like that was your biggest thing to bring everyone in. Your trophies were cool. You guys gave the riders sick gear, did cool track layouts, and then you guys paid. That was the biggest thing. So that's why, like, I think that's the
like we paid everybody but ourselves.
Yeah. I remember
like it was like I think we joked that Bryce was our highest paid employee.
That's the joke, dude. The freaking that him being a racer was the highest paid employee. But that's cool though, right? That's what brings him back. That's what brings racers to want to come do the stuff, right?
Right.
To not go into debt and lose your ass on it. You want to have a little bit of piece of skin in the game.
So that's the format you prefer, the ones that pay.
100%. Till this day, I literally would tell everyone now, I was like, hey, why don't you want to come do this track day or why this? Like, if I don't get in free or if I'm not doing coaching, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm sorry. Unless it's not a race, it's just like, if I can, like, I'm not going to pay to go do a track day anymore because it's like, dude, I think I wish I had a statement. Like, my years from like 2018, 2020 before racing, like, I wish I had a statement of all the track days I bought and like photos, tires, everything, man. It was it's not
now
cheap.
You're like the jaded privateer professional.
Yeah, well, now we're like through the professional. It's still just as expensive, but like we're buying like 6 times the amount of tires. And like I remember Ben and Bryce, like they were just like, I was all juiced on getting faster. Like, well, you're not gonna like it for much longer. I was like, why? I was like, you're gonna go through tires like no tomorrow. And they're 100% correct, right? Like I don't think I go past 14, 16 laps on my rear and like 30 laps on the front, and then it's a new set, and then it's like, oh, here we go, another this much money, another this much money.
Is the tire thing helping you out? Or is Dunlop or whoever it is?
So yeah,
right?
No,
are they helping you out a little bit?
Corey, Tony, Dale at freaking Racer's Edge, Isaac Motorsports. As I've gotten better, they've helped me out tremendously. A good amount. No, not full support, but Dunlop, since switching to them, and everything, they've taken great care of me, made great relationships. Great tire, and they don't pay the full thing, but when I do good and they and they freaking love how I am, they just throw a tire like here, there, that my way, and I appreciate it.
They're like, here's a rear, go fuck yourself.
They're like, go have a blast, dude. They see how excited I am. People tell me like what a juice, like how crackhead I am in the in the paddock and stuff. Like, dude, how can you not be excited racing motorcycles when Dunlop says, hey, here's a rear tire, go smoke everybody or try your best. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go do it. So like that's what it is. So so gotta find some more money, but I appreciate all those guys for helping me out.
So I know that a lot of guys, like in your situation, practice and on takeoffs. Is that still a thing?
That is still a thing, but like the takeoffs now, like only help you build consistency and like
Okay.
worrying like about, and like seeing what a degrading tire feels like and stuff. Like, look at like Bryce and like Dion and freaking all those fast guys up in the front. They can run really fast times, like 45s, 46 like that on a good tire. But like when it falls off, they still run consistent, right? Me, if I I can run my personal best 1 lap, 2 laps, and then like if the tire falls, like if the tire falls off or I get tired, I'm like trying to stay within a second of my time, right? Build the consistency. So I feel
Right.
like that's what takeoffs are for now. Like if you get good ones, you can maybe push a pace for one session. But if you're looking to go for like as fast as you humanly possibly can, it better be a fresh set. So
Dude, words of wisdom from this guy. Wow. That sounds like some grown-up racer stuff, dude.
we've learned, freaking some of the faster guys can still go crazy fast there, but I'm still working on my talent. I'm still working on my stuff. I'm still learning as I go. But yeah, I try to pass on as much as I can as what I've learned from so far.
So of the tracks that got you've got to participate at, most of all the tracks in California have you tried, or have you been out to
Uh,
Utah? Like where have you been?
No, I've wanted to venture out. I've done mostly California. I did Podium Club with you guys. That's
Okay.
where I had my pinky incident and had a crash. I still haven't
I
gone
was in
back.
that race.
Yeah,
I was like, oh look, it's like a
uh,
Skittles pack
uh,
of Rice Prince bikes.
I did. I did it during practice stuff. But I've been to Podium Club. It's a cool track. But yeah, no, I haven't been to Utah. I haven't been to like what's it called, Circuit of the Americas in Texas.
The Ridge.
I want to. Haven't been to the Ridge. I haven't been to any of those tracks. But
Dude, you got to get around.
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. Like I said, freaking. I know a lot. I'm shifting to wanting to do tracks now that Moto America puts on the calendar. So,
Okay.
because I want to go get training in. Even though nationals, some people just show up and go race, right? That's I wanted to do. I did that at Willow Springs with Bryce at CRA with you guys. So, want to try. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I want to have at least a track day, downs or something. So yeah,
Right.
gotta definitely go exploring stuff.
Give yourself a tiny bit of perspective.
Yeah,
right?
I gotta see different tracks, get different turns, and get different knowledge. I gotta, if anyone's got any trailers or anything, taking bikes out there, got a bike for me to ride at any tracks, I'll go out and ride it anytime.
The reality is, dude, like the position that you're in and the circle of friends that you're in, I mean, I know Bryce. I think Bryce went up and tested at the Ridge. I mean, you probably could have thrown your shit in his rig, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, that's the cool part. I gotta sit down and talk with him. He's always helped me out tremendously. So next year I'm hopefully can scheme some things with him and get some support. But that's what I was hoping to do a little bit this year, but I had to pay off debts. I did the adult responsible thing, right? Didn't want to continue to go into debt. So as much as I wanted to say, hey Bryce, let me just stash my bike here and do a track day, I was like, he had a full program. What didn't feel like the right time, and had to do responsibility stuff. But yeah, I am fortunate to have that in the pocket.
So are you gonna do another national this season?
This season, no. That's the way things kind of work.
Jersey's right?
Yeah, I'll be there in Jersey, kind of working for the BPR team. I'll be Bryce's mechanic for that round. So,
okay.
But for me racing myself, no, I'm working hard to put a program together for next year. So,
okay,
trying to put all my efforts in that.
Right on. So, what of the tracks you have been to? Which one's your favorite so far?
Oh, the premier one, Laguna.
Laguna's your favorite?
That's the best one in my opinion that I've ridden so far. Like I've heard great things about UMC and like Pahrump, that great tracker out there and stuff. Podium Club's sick. That's a close second. But out of all the tracks I've actually ridden, Laguna just takes it.
So where on that list does Thunder Hill rank?
Thunder Hill, dude, I haven't been there in a minute, and I always suck there. And now,
and I say this because it's like Thunderhill has such a mix of shit, right? It's like
it's a mix.
You got the elevation stuff, you got like super fast stuff, some pretty super technical shit. Like
it's
Thunderhill is rad.
Yeah, it's a sick track, dude. East, like I love East. I've done the 5 mile, and like back in my days when I lived in Monterey when it was closer, like still 4 hours. Yeah. Now it's like 7.5 hours away from me, and I don't want to have. I've done the drive a couple times.
Dude, it's 7 hours from me, and I'm in. I'm by Willow Springs, dude.
That's a lot, dude. So
it's a bit closer than that.
It's about 6, but dude, like with California traffic and how like retards drive, dude, it's not how it works.
Like at the time of day you're leaving, it's probably 7 hours.
Yeah. It's Thunderhill's sick, but it's just for my opinion, like if I'm not racing there and like I don't have like a good set of tires or bike setup, like I don't want to drive 6 hours that far away, to go. do that stuff. I have Button Willow 30 minutes away. I got CDM. I got like the other tracks I can practice on a lot closer, right? So
next Button Willow's like our home staple, right?
Oh, dude, being here. Oh, that's home. Yeah, that's literally been there so many times. I know Button Willow pretty well now.
Dude, I've been riding at that place since before the tower was built.
Probably before I was born.
I mean, since 2000. So.
Okay, well, 6 years. 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, the place was, I think it only opened in '95, so it was only 5 years old when I started riding there.
Well, that new track, hopefully, freaking, I get a new track out there.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of, I've probably got more laps than anybody there.
You pedaled that track, huh? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, I want to go do that. That's cool. How's it feel on a bike, on a pedal bike? Does it look cool?
I mean, there's a couple of places that I'm like, but there's some fast stuff. It looks like there's like a slingshot effect, basically.
On a lot of the turns and stuff to kind of go.
Yeah, so cool. Like you come off a corner, it looks like you accelerate on the side of the tire, kind of like leading onto that back straight at Podium Club, similar to that, but to the right instead of to the left.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah. So it's going to be a side of the tire track, yeah, because the normal configuration, I feel, in my opinion, is like a technical track, like, freaking just get it through that way. Like, it's not high speed like CVMA, right, where you're on the side of the tire forever.
Well, so. CVMA, like Chuckwalla, I don't really consider that a high-speed track, but you are on the side of the tire, especially clockwise, right?
Yeah. You're just
those long sweepers that have the decreasing radius at the end.
Yeah, you're just sitting there, just looking for it the whole time, and then if you give it gas too early, you screw it up. It's a lot of stuff.
Right on. Yeah. That's awesome. So when I guess you're not racing, when's your next race?
I'm probably gonna do that CRA Willow Springs round.
Okay.
When I went there, what was it, round? I forget the round it was. That last round I had out there when Bryce literally what was it? I think it was the Friday. We were working. We were literally working. He's breaking out his race bike. He's like, I think I'm gonna go race Willow Springs and go collect a check. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean? It's like, dude, I raced there. I was like, he's raced there for so long, right? That's where he's like kind of bread. So I was like, it's like, you want to come? I was like, dude, I had one track day there on my MT10. And I was like, and that was like a year and a half, like whatever with Let's Ride, right? I'm like, I've never been. I was like, dude, just national style, just show up, like show up from the back of the grid, just go fast. I'll help you out. Like, I'll give you some pointers. I was like, all right.
You don't even have to show up at the back of the grid, right? Like club racing nowadays is all about qualifying, right?
Well, yeah, you guys do qualifying stuff, but I think we showed up like the sat. Like, I don't forget when we showed up. We just showed up because when do you guys qualify? Like Saturday, like Friday or something like that?
Dude, it's not you guys. I
know. I remember without it.
The race clubs like CRA and CVMA both qualify for all the classes.
But
right?
we showed
typically
up.
Qualifying's on Saturday morning, isn't it?
Something like that, but we showed up like Sunday morning. I think that's literally we just showed
up.
Oh,
okay.
So it was because we work like the dealer works like Tuesday to Saturday. So he's like, let's just show up and go race, start from the back of the grid. And that's what we did. And I think I got third in the Gold Cup, literally first time there, and then racing there.
Nice.
And then, and freaking tried to chase Bryson. Yeah, I got fourth in the snap, like few races. I had like a third, a fourth, and then I think like a malfunction. I had a technical, I think, or I didn't race the last race or something like that. But from not having any qualifying times or freaking much time there, it was cool to go out there and try and go fast.
So just a heads up, in the comments, you got a couple of quasi SoCal teammate dum-dums. Yeah. You got Ty Bankford in there saying that you're a legend. And then you got Sean Williams saying that you should tell Bryce not to show up for the Gold Cup. So you guys could be down to you guys for the championship.
I know that last round of CRA was great when me and him were just like, we looked at each other like, dude, we can get some good money. I was like, yeah, just don't. I told Sean, like, dude, don't freaking crash. I was like, just don't, keep it upright, dude.
Yeah.
Because that dude just likes to sail his bike all the freaking time. But it was a blast to kind of, when Bryce and the fast guys don't show up, it's cool to get first and get a good paycheck and stuff. And then Ty knows from CVMA and stuff like that too. That guy's a blast. He's won some money and stuff. So.
And then Shotgun is asking about you coaching him at Laguna.
Check out my website, man. I'm available. I'm freaking open.
Just a heads up, Shotgun. There's a Trackdaz event on August 31st, September 1st. Perhaps you could scumbag this guy into showing up that weekend.
I live super close by, and I know my way around Button Willow, so I'm open. I'm open then. Shotgun, if you need help, click on my website on my Instagram, man. We'll help you out.
Yeah, he says, Shotgun, are you saying that you're in August 31st?
I think so. That's what he's kind of commenting on.
So I don't know. Maybe maybe you hit that dude up offline, and we'll set that up.
Yeah, no,
Or hit
cool.
me up, and I'll put you in touch with Jason. How about that?
Yeah. Gotta go do freaking Laguna with Let's Ride. It's always a blast.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Yeah, we could set that up.
Hell yeah, cool. Guess
Right
what?
on.
Coaching's important, man. I'm telling you, it helped. Look
Yeah.
how much it helped me.
How important?
Like, if you want to get like people, I see this all the time. Like people that want to go fast on their own, that's take their own knowledge. That's great. It takes you so far, right? But where do you find your time? Like you get someone that knows to set up suspension, and then like you get someone that knows how to ride. So it's like literally Ben freaking was that he dabbles a little bit with suspension, like looking at setup like with Bryce and stuff, and then the guy analyzes riding really great, like a freaking top caliber rider. Like he should have been in Moto America with me too. But go to coaching, dude. Like any of the fast guys, Corey Alexander, like Bryce Prince offers coaching. I know it's hard to get a hold to the guys going a million mile an hour and everything. I coach. Dion Campbell coaches. Like any of those top club guys, like just go ask them, like, hey, what do you do to go faster than that? And literally listen. Don't try to say I do this, I do that. Get your bike set up and then go learn. And then that's your second. That's to break through your barrier, right? Because we're human, right? It's an art to learn a motorcycle, to ride a motorcycle that fast. Like, what about you, Dustin? Like, when did you think? Like, when did you get past like 50s at Buttonwheel? Like, what did you do?
Dude, I was
You got a long time riding.
Yeah, I've been doing it a long time, but I tell you what, man, like I had 1 year where it was basically like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was already old, and I was running a certain kind of suspension, and I was stuck. I was stuck at a certain time, and the suspension guy was like, "Yeah, here's the stuff. Go, figure it out."
Yeah.
So there wasn't really a whole lot of support there. And then all of a sudden, my buddy Berto bought GP suspension, calls me up and goes, "Hey, by the way, you're on GP suspension now." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh,
So
dang.
yeah, so like he sent Fuzzy out to Chuckwalla with suspension, and Fuzzy swapped out that other stuff for GP stuff, and I think like a $700 Penske shock, and worked with me, asked me questions, and set up the bike based on what I was telling him. And I was telling him some stupid shit because I was like, no,
because
man,
we don't know what the hell. Yeah,
like I'll tell you, man. You probably heard this story before, but it's like, oh, dude, like it feels kind of like a melting ice cream sandwich, kind of. And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then in one day, dude, at Chuckwalla, I went from 51s to 48s in between sessions.
Yeah, and what did you have? You had Fuzzy, which is what? A freaking Moto America class mechanic that knows setup.
Right.
And then like he's been under riders that know, like, he's been around the talk and this and that. It's literally I call it the go fast rider talk, right? You
right.
Watch Jason or eBay talk. You watch all the fast guys that try to like say like all these weird things, right? But you just listen and it makes sense, right? You're like, oh, you don't gotta just pin it. Like, look how much I'm opening the throttle that much. I'm not trying to just go like this, like opening the throttle that much more. And just be able to drive correctly, there's your half a second, and then like your bike set up correctly with that.
Yeah,
like, that's literally. 100%.
I mean, like I said, dude, it was from one session to the next. I went out, warmed up, got right to my fastest where I had been stuck at for months, and I'm like, okay, now what, Well, and he asked me a couple of questions, and he's like, "Hey, you used to ride a 600, huh?" I'm like, "How the fuck do you know that?" He's like, "Well, because you're revving the thing out like it's a 600, and it's not a 600, it's 1,000, retard." So,
Right,
and like I'm sharing inside baseball with our conversations, but that's kind of how it went, dude. He's like, "Dude, why are you riding like an idiot? Like, what the fuck's going on right there?"
Dude,
from the pits, he was like, "Hey, clean that up," and dude. It's like 48s immediately. It was like I was living there. It wasn't just one. I was like camping out there.
Just hitting it all the time. Same thing.
And that was before the track got faster. You know?
100% before. Yeah, that's when he doesn't have the repave and everything too.
Right.
And all that. But that's literally it. That Bryce and Quentin and they all look at me the same thing. Like, why are you riding like a retard? You know how to ride fast. Go do it.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Fine. I'll go do it.
How much are you using data now?
Religiously, like legit.
Really?
I think after.
So you're okay. Wait a second. Just for clarification here, you're a club racer guy for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And you're using data on your bike at club races.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of data are you looking at?
So I got like literally my bike has like the full AIM suite of stuff. It's not like no I2M, but potentiometer on front fork travel, rear shock travel, brake pressure, the throttle position, like hand to how much I'm twisting the throttle to how much the bike's given.
Lean angle. Do you
Yeah.
have TPMS?
I don't know if I have TPMS. I'm not
Tire
sure.
pressure.
No, I don't have that. I'm not. That's too out of my budget. It's out of my budget for that. That's I2M stuff. But yeah, literally just the basics, right? Front fork travel, brake pressure, miles per hour, GPS speed, not lean angle, stuff like that, but just, applying the throttle and just getting that stuff to help set up and work on my riding and learn how to pull freaking data. And then watching Bryce and Quentin and all, and then, Maddie from Compact Octane, that dude's freaking a wizard with data. And that guy knows a lot in bikes and stuff. So watch them do it. And then I try to go look at the bars and graphs and try to interpret it myself and try to go faster. So.
Yeah, looking at those squiggly lines, man, it's so weird how far the computer shit has gone in our sport so rapidly,
Oh, 100%.
I mean, it used to be like when I started, Jacob West, do you remember him? He was like he was the big guy, the assistant race director guy. He was at Laguna.
Okay.
Big fella.
Okay.
So Jacob, back in the day at Willow, he was like a guy that won the 600 class a lot. Like he and his dad would be in the pits on the race weekend, gas tank off, carburetors off on the bench, changing the jets. And now you just walk up and plug in.
Yep. That's that easy nowadays, dude. And you've seen it more than anyone else, right? Like me, I've only been in this sport since I've only been racing since 21. So I don't know the old days, stories I hear from you guys, like the old time racing, like all the magical tricks they did to R6s to make it faster, all that stuff. Now it's like I just come from data, that's how I interpret a bike now and stuff like that. So it's definitely come a long way from the stories I've heard, at least.
So there's a couple of comments coming in. I'm just gonna kind of get to them real quick. Fastlane J. He says, "Hey man, he's gonna come touch base with you on Friday practice at the last round of CRA." Mm-hmm. So looks like you might have a coaching gig right there to give this guy some R3 love.
100%. Freaking, I don't have too much time on a small bike, this and that, but the speed and speed and going around a racetrack is similar. It's miles per hour around a corner, right, to radius. So
yeah,
definitely teach that. And I've had multiple years or a lot of champ school experience and a lot of freaking small. Alex George watched it. Talking to that guy riding everything too. I could definitely help you out, man. See if we can show you some seconds and secure the championship for you.
Listen to that guy, dude. And then you got Ty Bankford saying, "Oh, it's crazy. All the fast guys are ridiculously smart. None of them go full retard and just pin and crash all the time."
Dude, freaking Ty needs to give himself more credit, dude. Freaking, you know what? With even the smart guys, Bryce has some bonehead moments too. You heard it, Bryce. I said it. Cap caught you. We've had it, this and that. But
oh shit,
dude, it's we're all, dude. It happens. We're not all smart, this and that. Yeah, it's an art to do this and that, but freaking Ty rips, and he knows how.
Dude,
to
he does. I've watched him come up from an amateur too.
Yeah, and he did good all the season.
He said his favorite part of data is overlapping his laps with Bryce's, and literally through turn 4, he's only 1/10 down, but then the rest of the lap he loses 3.8 seconds.
That's definitely how it happens. That's definitely how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I rode the Superbike, and I had Richard on the show overlay my Wuss lap compared to Gagne, dude.
Really?
And there was a lot of things that were kind of surprising, like in Sunset Corner at Buttonwillow, from entry, in the middle of the corner, in the middle at the apex, I was faster than Jake.
What?
But that's because Jake's patient.
Yeah.
And he waits and then he pulls the trigger and then he's gone, and that's why he's so just ridiculously fast. And I'm not.
Yeah. That shows that's
right.
That's 100% it. It's always a good piece of humble pie when you overlay your data against a world-class guy. Right?
By the way, Ty says this is the most calm he's ever seen you.
Yeah, well, I'm contained in my house. I'm not at a race
because he's
track.
Talking to me, dude, and he doesn't have you
riling me up, dude. Everyone actually, everyone forgets how they kind of rile me up sometimes too, right? So, I'm a victim of my. Was that Miles? There he is. There's Miles Zumwalt's in the chat too. Good old buddy of mine.
Yeah, who's Miles?
He's the new addition. He's working with Quentin at Next Level Cycles.
Okay.
Genius of a man. He's now wrenching for Quentin. he's on the BPR camp, and he helps Dion now. Dion's kind of main mechanic now.
Right on.
And, dude, guy within a day of me like showing him, giving him the rundown and stuff, took to it like a fly in water. Just a great A guy. So
you guys, you know, I talked to Lou quite a bit at Laguna, and I've just been kind of watching that team progress. And you know what, man, Bryce seems like he's got a pretty well-oiled machine over there, dude. It's like, you know, they're going to tests. Bryce is running up front.
got on the box. He got on the box.
Yeah, dude. You know, Bryce is running near the front, and you know, the rest of the guys aren't too far back either.
Dion rode great all year, dude. Have you seen how he's literally been just behind Bryce?
Dion's a murderer. Dion's another guy that could just go out and dominate club races, right?
Dude, that guy's an animal. That guy, I've seen him on a supermoto and that guy ride. Like, I love it because I just get to chase him now, like chase him as best as I can. But I'm like, me and him are like strong breakers, and every time I try to bring him in on the brakes, I just think I'm gonna die. Like, I think I'm just gonna literally just tuck the front and everything, but sometimes like he's helped me kind of say like, hey, you can still be firmer on the brakes and still get, you know, speed, because, you know, everyone rides differently. But that guy's a killer, dude. That guy's a little honey badger on a bike.
He's a honey badger on a bike.
That's what
dude. The one thing that worries me about Dion is, man, that dude, he's a young guy, and it's like he's kind of made himself like a first name basis with local ERs.
Well, like I said, I don't have too much time. Like I said, I came in racing 2021. I've heard I've heard, you know, that I've heard stories here and there, this and that, but I'm going off what I've seen now, and the guy's been charging hard. So,
dude, he's a murderer.
He's an ex-murderer. Yeah, that just goes to show, dude. You put someone in a good camp, you put someone in a good program, and then look at, like, that just goes to show how well Bryce.
And he's been at it for a long time, you know. Like, I mean, he's kind of a victim of the times, you know. Like he kind of came up after the economy had kind of shit itself, and you know, so it's really difficult as he grew up. Like, his parents, I guess, stopped paying for it. So, you know, he's been kind of in and out of rides the last several years. And seems like he's been working with Bryce now for a couple years, and it's kind of working out, right?
No, he's been working hard. Yeah, him and his dad work really hard, and then they got a good program over there with freaking Bryce, and it's good. It's good to see.
Yeah, Ty's saying that he's fixed his riding. He says he's been working with Josh Hayes, and, you know, he's riding really well now.
Oh, 100%, dude. Like, watching him and Bryce now, from watching Dion riding, like when I raced against him a little bit when he was on the 600, watching how he used to ride, like literally within a year, like a year ago, pretty like aggressive. And then like next thing you know, I see him and Bryce flying bike, or I've seen pictures of him and Bryce and like just video and stuff. I'm like, they're riding the same. I'm like, wow. So he's come a long way, dude. I hope he keeps killing it.
So how does it work in your guys' pit at the National?
So
you go out and practice, and then what?
You go out and practice, and you come back. You know, it's the real deal. Bryce runs like a full program. So, you know, I call like me and Ty like.
What's a full program? Just talk about that. What do you think of? What do you call a full program?
Is literally a rig like to transport the bikes with the mechanic shop inside. You know, full suite of like at least 2 pairs of replacements for each bike. You know, a crew chief, a data analyst, the riders, full-time mechanics. You know, this is that. Like, it's a team of like what? For 2 riders, we had 3 for a minute, but like for 2 riders, there's probably at least like 10 people, like 8 people I need to help and like make that work. So the riders can just focus on riding. So yeah, you know, and then like you got me and Ty, you know, Bangford, the satellite team of BPR, right? We got the BPR bikes.
You guys sit at the kids' table?
Yeah, we sit at the kids' table away, try not to get in the way, and we just do our own thing and laugh and joke a little bit and just kind of piggyback. And but it's they run a great program, and you know, like for a club level guy like me and Ty to go in and be able to do so successful, like I owe a lot of it to, like, you know, Bryce and Quentin and all those guys that, like, hey, if me and Ty showed up to a national like tomorrow, just ourselves, and like, hey, dude, what do we change? Well, like, I've gotten better and I'm learning, right? But I still don't know it all snap. But like, I'd still be like, dude, I don't even know where to start. Like, I look at data and like, okay, maybe we could do this and then go backwards. But you don't get that when you have Quentin or you have, you know,
right,
Maddie and Bryce and all them, right? You're like, hey, they've been through it, right? Bryce is a 2016 freaking champion, you know, on 600. Like, the guy's been around bikes so much, like, they know what not to do, and then they kind of know the direction to go, which helps us slower guys go a little bit faster, right? Too.
So do you guys have like a BPR team meeting where you talk about like how things are going with each rider, or what the team plan is?
Yeah. we're a little like kind of a little more laid back. I freaking Quinn and Bryce are like we call it the more important folk, like Bryce and Quinn and like they'll sit around there, but like the rest of the team members, like we just make sure camp's running good. We all know what to do, right? We don't need to be managed, so we make sure the camp's good, and then the guys that know what they're doing, we let them go do what they're doing, right? They kind of run their stuff, so and then that's literally what's led to the success of this year.
So Ty is saying that you're right. If he did this on his own, there'd be no way he would have been able to go as fast as they did at all the tracks that they'd never been to.
Yeah, like Ty's literally showed up to a lot of tracks he's never ridden before, and literally to be within like top 15 or like that, all like
he's a murderer.
To qualify. That's why I tell him like he talks all the smack he wants us in that, but he's a fast guy too. Okay, he needs to teach me how to ride too. Me and him were freaking dicing up before he made a mistake in Laguna and gifted me the spot, but freaking.
Where did you finish? Just to be clear, because people watching may not know who you are, but like where did you finish in stock 1000 at Laguna?
Just outside the points. I think I got 16th or like 17th, 16th. I qualified 15th, got a shit start, and inside at turn 2 at Laguna is not the place you want to be, especially at the national level. I probably shit my pants like most of the time, but I was having a good time in qualifying. It's just it sucks that I missed my Saturday race, so I missed a little bit of experience.
Oh, you had a technical issue or something, right?
Yeah, I had an issue with the bike that it wasn't deemed safe to race, so I couldn't race Saturday. So Sunday was my only race, and as much my goal was to kind of be within the points, but people are telling me to give a little more slack. Like, hey, for my first national, be just outside of points and not dead last. It's something, right? So got finished like 16, 17, but want to go back for more. Want to get finished points. I'm a better rider than that, and I know it, and I just want to go do it. So
I'm curious, like what would you say the comparison to levels, like from your club racing experience to the national? Like you raced your first national, like what did you think of the level of the riders in the stock 1000 class?
So the level and the ride of the stock 1000 class, they're pretty good. Everyone rides well. That's the crazy part, right? Like Bryce, like everyone was telling me, like the guys that have done it, like it's not a club to where like, hey, you can pass majority of the backfield, and then now it's just you chasing the those few 3-2 guys, right? In national, everyone's fast. Like it's not an easy pass. So
at the national, everyone's fast.
Yeah, it's like,
is that the way you think it should be?
100%, right?
It'd be hard, right?
Yeah, you don't want people that are kind of just slowing things down. You don't want to run into that, like, not trying to be mean, but like get back club racers, at a national level. You want everyone to be fast because that's how you get faster, and that's how less accidents happen, right? When people know how they're riding. So I was nervous going in there, but like I said, I raced before Laguna. I raced Laguna there before. I recently did 28s there with Ben, so I was chasing that there. I knew I was gonna be at a good time watching what those guys did. And just unfortunate that, I got my one race in and shit start and everything, excuses. But I want to go back there and get at least, I want to shoot for like top 10 with Dion, because I feel like I can run 28s and be more consistent and do, faster things. So it was an eye opener for sure. And just leaves me itching, wanting for more,
No shit.
It's fast, dude. It's fast.
Yeah. So you're, Bobby Fong made a comment on a different podcast about if you're not dominating club racing, then don't do nationals. 100%. Curious what your thoughts are on that.
So it's like, well, it's like give or take, right? It depends like on the classes and that. Like there's some truth to that. There's like a good amount of truth to that. But there's some people which, I don't like knocking people for like chasing something they have a dream or a goal or something like that, right? Some people just want to say they made the show. They're like, hey, I made the show. I stayed consistent because it's a lot of hard work to get there, and say that I made the show, did it, and was happy with loved ones they did it, and then if that's like a smaller class, like a twins class or on a 600 or something like, not like, a premier class, all for you. Go do your thing, accomplish your goals, go be happy, right? Not going to knock someone there. But if it's a premier class, a super competitive class, like stock 1000 or super bike or like, like the twins class, this and that, like, you don't, just if you're not going to qualify, like you're not going to, if you're a backpack club racer, you're not going to qualify. I'm sorry to say that, right? If you're mid pack, you're barely going to qualify. If you're not front pack, club racing, don't waste the money. Go keep getting faster at club racing or go get faster there. Then when you get like, third places, second places, or a couple first places and, club racing at expert level in a good class, then go do it, right? There's like levels to it. You can't just say, oh, look at me, I went to go do that, right? That's.
I mean, I look at the Moto America series as a professional series.
the show.
You know, it's not supposed to be a club series. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be competitive. And if the race is full of a bunch of axe murderers that are all, you know, all capable. I mean, there's a bunch of dudes that are, I mean, we don't even know. I mean, let's rephrase that. When Work Boots falls down, we don't know who's going to win, right?
100%.
But, you know, I mean, aside from Hayden and Uribe, there's been a bunch of guys, you know, Ashton's coming up and, you know, Gabe Da Silva and those, I mean, a bunch of absolute murderers, right?
Yeah. Ben Smith, that guy freaking
too. How could I forget Ben Smith, Bryce Prince? You know, I mean, you know, like this stack, like I'm talking like Ben Smith's word, right? Stacker.
Yeah.
The grids are, but they're supposed to be like the nationals are supposed to be hard.
That's how you get fast. Yeah. That's
right.
Like, that's 100% it. Like that's you think about it, right? It's the USA, it's a national, it's everyone in the United States.
Right.
Going to one place to see who's the fastest guy, right? You don't go in there with your pockets half full. You're going in there swinging, right? You want to you're walking in there saying I'm the best, right? That's what everybody
right.
It's the best of the best.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Ty says when he first did a national 3 years ago at Laguna, 29 would have put you on top 10. This year, you're lucky to be in the top 20.
Yeah.
So the level of the program has gone up big time just in a couple of years.
100%. Look at those guys. Freaking what? The front pack was running 26s, I think, or what's it called there? Then I think the other faster guys got like dipped into the 25s. Like I remember Dion sitting there's like he was like at 27s for a while. Like he didn't get till 26s. He's like, why are you so stressed on trying to get to 26s? Like that's the pack. That's what the pack's gonna race at. And I was like, and he got to 26s, and that's what they raced at, right?
Right.
So like me, it's like I clicked 128, but I'll race in the 29s. What pack was I in? Like, you know, even though the shit started, I was like, I finished 16th, 17th, right? And that's running 29s, which is still a respectable pace, you know, by
that's fast, dude.
Yeah. So it's I still got a lot to learn, and gotta always go fast. There's always someone faster. Gotta go faster.
There's always somebody faster, isn't that something?
Yeah, 24/7.
So what, you know, as a racer yourself, and you know, a guy that's kind of come up from basically nothing, right? Like you come from like the scumbag street squid dipshit all the way up to club racing, and you know, you've done a national now, and you qualified top 15. What advice would you give somebody that wants to do something similar?
Do something similar?
Yeah, you tell the club guy that you've talked to that has national aspirations. Tell him what advice you would give.
Literally, whatever bike you're on, just put suspension, a master, and tire slicks on it. Good tires on it. Get someone that kind of knows the setup. Go
get someone. Like, do you have anybody specific to somebody that knows?
If it's an R6, R1, come to freaking Bryce here, Kern County Power Sports. Fuzzy's a great guy too. Freaking Bob.
Shameless plug. Bryce.
Right, and then
I need to put the Kern County website
right there at the logo. I can get my hat right now, and then freaking just any good like suspension guy, right? Just go there, get a decent setup for the track, take notes, literally keep track of like don't just make changes like blindly. Kind of take some reason to it. Don't do it like when you're starting off don't do a million changes. Do that. Race to your heart's desire. All that money you're gonna throw on trick parts and stupid stuff that's not gonna make you faster. Put it into entries and literally just go race until you're like your craft is good, and then maybe
race until your craft is good.
Yeah, until your craft is good, and then maybe like, hey, these springs are too stiff. Like when you start getting to there, like okay, invest in a set of softer springs or do something then go down that route, right? But I've seen people just go full super bike build and still wind up at the back of the pack. I'm like, I'm not going fast. I'm like,
yeah, you got a cool looking bike though.
Hey, that's true. I'll always give hats off to guys with cool looking bikes. So
I don't know why I feel like you're talking about me, but
no, dude, you freaking go just right. But your bike was kitted, dude. That was an attack bike from freaking heaven.
I still have it.
That thing's beautiful.
Okay, so how about this? Lou Ferrari has a great question. As a front runner at the club level, what's something that you notice differently of how the front level national guys are riding the bike?
Oh God, they are.
Is it on the brakes? Is it at corner entry? What is it?
Dude, it's just watching their throttle application and like building the pressure like consistently, not like stabbing the brakes, right? Like everyone just stabs the brakes, just try to like watching them like data, like watch by like just build confidently, consistent, right? You know, just that feel consistent. They know when to trail off, and then literally trail. Like there's no coasting zones. Building the throttle, not slow, but freaking, you know, but not too quick either. It's an art. It's literally like and then they don't just do it one turn here, one turn there. They do it all there, and they just do it again and again and again, because like it's wild, and it takes a whole nother level of focus and consistency to do that, and that's what the top level guys do.
Nice.
And that's what I'm working on trying to do, because we know I got speed and I know I can do it. Now I just want to do it all the time and be consistent. So that's what I'm working on.
And then Ty says, if you could give yourself a piece of advice for when you first started, what would that be?
Took my bike to someone that knew what they were doing sooner.
Like the benefits of working on it yourself is you save money, but the cons are you have no idea what you're doing.
Don't get me wrong. Like if there's people out there that can learn, right, and like that stuff, I'm not one of them. Like I'm getting better now because I'm applying it correctly now. Like I'm constantly being around people to know what the hell they're talking about. But like I remember my days in the garage looking at my phone when I was like deleting my ABS, and I'm just like, oh God,
how watching YouTube, your YouTube certified?
Watching YouTube right then and there, and then installing the rear shock that I got from Mike at freaking at Olin's and stuff. I'm like, God, it had like a 115 shock spring because I was fat, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be so much better. And then Dave Moss tweaked it, and then I went to go ride it, and I think it was a little bit worse than stock. I was like, what the hell?
Like you had an Olin shock and it was worse than stock.
It was all turned, like it was all set up. Like it was like, you know, no, not trying to take away from anyone, but just like. You know, and I kind of fiddled with it a bit too, and just it wasn't set up correctly. Like I still was like, hey, would have run a 55 or a 56, but like felt like crap. And then finally, I just pinched my pennies, and like, you know, racing setup's not cheap, right? But what are you paying for? It's a setup. So I finally I remember Junior got his bike. He took his bike to Bryce and got his first setup. I came back and I was chasing him at Thunder Hill, and I was always a little faster than him. I watched him in every corner, just smooth. Like, and the guy just. Like I love the guy, you know, he's a great guy, but you know, the guy wasn't like he just wanted to mash the throttle and go, right? But like his bike was so planted, I'd go to do it and I'd be just everywhere. And I literally called Bryce after the track day. I was like, dude, how much, like whatever you did to Junior's bike and how much it cost, I want it done to mine.
You're like, I don't give a fuck what it costs.
Yeah, I was like, I still did. It's like, I was like, hey, it's not crazy expensive, right? He's like, no, dude, it's just like, it's literally suspension setup, geometry, and then like his dyno tune. And because I had the Olins on it, I had the master, and then like he literally just set that up with that, and then. Shit, I dropped 3 seconds immediately, I think, off of every track. And I'm like, and then after that, I just never touched it again. And I just went further. I just ended up giving more and more of my money to Bryce. And that's how it works.
Yeah, that's, you know, that's sometimes how it happens when you find a spot that you trust. Your bike ends up living there, right?
Don't change it, right? That's how it works. If it's working, don't change it.
Yeah, that's why my bikes go to Richard.
Yeah, that's Yusuf. Smart man. So that's my biggest advice. Take it to someone. It doesn't, you know, even if it's not Bryce, like someone that just knows what they're doing. That's.
I just saw Ty's comment, dude. Look at Ty's comment.
All right, let me see. Where's he at?
Oh my goodness. Ty says he's in crippling Bryce debt.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, especially after that motor blew up with all that Laguna.
Oh man, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, he had a lot of time. That thing lived though, dude. He had like 2 seasons on that thing. That was
really?
That was a good old girl. And he had the fastest trap speeds, dude.
That's how it always happens, man. Right before you vent the cases, the thing runs like a champion.
Like a top, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one. We built this salvage title Suzuki 750 back in the day. I don't know, it was like $1,000 or something. And we got Jacob West out there. We running it, and dude, he's at Willow at a track day running 24s on this thing. Oh, and we stayed up all night. We didn't have time to drill the belly pan, so we're at the track day. Dude, Jacob is ripping on the thing, and all of a sudden down the front straightaway you hear and the rod through the case. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Freaking.
That thing was fast as shit all the way until that point, though.
Yeah, that's how it works, dude. Freaking times like top speed at Brainerd, he'll die on that hill.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Well, that's how it works. Motorcycles, dude. It's the most debt you'll fall into, but it's the most freaking best time you'll have doing it, right?
Well, I mean, at least it's not car racing.
This is true. You're not stuck in a cage, kind of just, there's a little excitement to it. So.
Right on. So you, before we wrap this thing, I mean, I know you're like from Monterey area, but we were talking recently, and you're from outside of Monterey a little bit, and
Masterville.
And yeah, so when we were talking, I was like, dude, is that the town where you stop and get the deep
The
fried
Thistle Hut. Yep.
artichoke?
Deep fried artichokes. So you passed right by the Thistle Hut.
Oh my God.
I remember years, like, dude, out of high school, freaking just going there to get some fresh fried artichokes after practice, and just
Yeah.
that place is what you saw. It's 5 minutes from the beach, 10 minutes from the beach.
Oh, yeah.
So we had the most just the best sunsets, and freaking would sit there and just relax, and didn't enjoy it as much when I was younger because I was a kid. Thought it was like just a place for a bunch of old people and stuff. But every time I go back home, I'm like, it's a beautiful place.
Well, that's like part of the San Francisco to LA tour.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't know, like I'm the guy that's riding. I'm one of the people riding from San Francisco to LA to raise money for the Arthritis Foundation.
Yeah.
And one of the days we go from Santa Cruz to Monterey, and we go through that area. And this old guy at breakfast that morning was like, "Hey man, you need to slow down a little bit and just remember it's not a race, it's a tour." And I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, I'm taking in the scenery, taking pictures and crap." And yeah, like the guy's like, "Whatever you do, don't miss out on the deep fried artichokes." And I'm like, "I don't even like artichokes, but okay, bro." And I did, and they were awesome. So yeah, like now I'm gonna send you pictures and be like, "Hey, dude."
Yeah, be like, sweet. Oh, that's what remember this place? That's hilarious.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't want to donate, like there's a link in the description of the video here on YouTube. So if you want to donate to my fundraiser for the ride, it'd be awesome and much appreciated. And yeah. So Jason, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank? And
it's got a better list now.
Do you have a list?
Well, before we started, but I got a good list of people that have honestly and genuinely helped me out, my sponsors for this year.
Okay.
Freaking being, Bryce, BPR Racing, Kern County Power Sports, Ben, with Cal Cubs, the whole Dunlop family, Corey, Tony, Dale at Racer's Edge, Norm at Eyes Up, Let's Ride Trackdaz, all those guys, and Leo Classic Cabinets. Good friends and family, my mom, this and that, and friends that have helped me get this far, Moving Moto, Chrissy and Rafa and all them, just everyone that makes this program happen. I can't do without you guys. So I really thank you guys fully and greatly for this year. And we got big plans for 25. We're still, even though I have this much amount of help, for this stuff, it still costs a lot of money to go racing professionally in Moto America. So in terms of building my program, I got a website on my Instagram. Go check it out. I'm open for coaching and booking. And then we also have tier packages for, title sponsors and everything. So we're open to sponsors for next year to try and do a full season. So,
and after this video is posted, like maybe tomorrow, I'll put the link to that in the description of this video as well.
Yeah.
Once you send it to me.
Yeah.
I could have had it on the ticker tape right here, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'll
shoot it to you. But
yeah.
More
so it would be cool if if anybody's looking for a dude to go nationals with them, or if you want to jump onto somebody's program. I mean, you got that guy right here. He's like, he's pretty quick. And I mean, look, he's already proved it. He's qualified top 15 at his first national. So, somebody give this dude some help, man. Maybe you can go a little bit farther.
I'd appreciate it big time, man. Freaking.
What do you have? Do you have aspirations besides doing a stock 1,000 national, or you just want to get the national and ride the wave until you figure out where you're going to go from there?
So I'm pretty comfortable on an R1. It's like 1,000 cc bikes. I'm never opposed to riding other stuff. So, I used to ride a smaller cc bike, like my 600 stuff. So I'll ride anything. I'm that type of guy. So, but yeah, just literally, the fast guys are at the nationals, and I want to go chase those fast guys and go get faster. And that's where
right
I'm
on.
So.
Well, Jason, you know what, man? It's been a fun show. And appreciate your words, man. And I wish you the best of luck the rest of this season. And hopefully you get your shit together so you can do the whole national season next year.
I hope so too, dude. Thanks for having me, Dustin, dude. Your show's awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
Right on, man. And thank you guys in the comments for watching this stuff. And, hopefully see this guy on the grid more often, yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully. Freaking be ahead. Guy commented on my high school. What the heck he knows? That's crazy. Shit. That's crazy. That's wild. Hey, everyone watching in the comments, all friends, you guys better not be talking smack. I swear. I'll see you guys.
All right, you guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Peace out.